Hello again. We're back. And oh jeez Louise, Louise. Okay. Oh, this guy. I've recently had an epiphany.
Hi again, gendarme.
What are you doing here?
Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer?
I just go wherever life takes me.
Maybe you should figure it out, detective.
Yeah. What are you telling me?
Oh yes, let's see. He knocked on my door a few days after the lynching. I think he was going through the entire building, asking questions.
What's he look
Muscular, handsome, strong, like one of those military types.
like? Was he alone?
Yes, but he was speaking to someone on his earpiece.
What was he saying?
Just reporting back whatever I was telling him. Sure. Anything else on your mind? Bye-bye, gendarme.
Bye-bye, gendarme. Okay. What are we doing? Oh, I have a composure. Let me save it, actually. That I don't know what I'm trying to do. I gotta go ask around about Ruby. I gotta learn about the Pale. I talk to Kuno and read some stuff for from my journal. Determine where the shot came from. Inspect Claugier's buoy. Sounds pervy. What are we on? We're on day 5. Oh. Where'd Can I? Let's see. I'm still too communist. I'm more moralist though. Superstar cop for sure. Can you be an apocalyptic fascist? That would be weird. Are there any of these I need? Arno Van Eyck would be a nice one to have, I think. Humpty Dumpty Dum. I have it. I do. One more door. These two I want to do. I have to get rid of something. Bringer of the law. Hand-eye coordination's only 4. Should probably boost that one of these days. And shivers and Inland Empire. Okay. Why am I up here? Oops. You still up here? You still up here? Do I have anything else? Oh, well, I was gonna ask her about Sunday.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again? Yeah?
No.
All right. Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. We demand her fear.
Devil woman.
She slowly lights.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I'm just tootling around right now. Trying to get my bearings. $5.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just ask him.
Tell me the truth. Do you know me from somewhere?
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
Another life.
From where? Another life?
Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality?
69th. 41st.
Okay. That's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. Somewhere good.
Let's talk more about the hypothetical station 41 you mentioned.
Okay.
That's it. Let's fantasize. I'm not busy. You're not busy. Let's just play around. So what would our relationship be in this alternative relationship, in this alternative universe?
Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment?
Like partners in crime, or?
No, because in this thought experiment, we are police officers in a police station. We don't do crimes. We're not crime bros.
Not crime bros.
Come on. Stop it.
Guys, what? Do you have a crime to solve?
Oh, no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes. And let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work.
This isn't helping.
Who else is in our imaginary police station?
You're not going to believe this, but police officers.
Ah.
Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and get this, and not getting that drink on at 2 o'clock.
Lame.
Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lung.
Who is the far-out son of Lung?
Oh, it's you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you.
Okay, want to tell me more about him or her?
Not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
Is that like a reference to a movie or something? Son of... Oh, no, it's a band, or a album, excuse me. I don't know. That's an odd thing for him to have said. Okay. Okay, well, I can't imagine anymore. I got work to do, buddy.
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I.
Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right?
I know, it's super weird.
There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at. But still.
I was thinking the same thing. I should just ask him if we're from the same station.
Yes, just cross it off the list. It's probably not true, though.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Look, I just have to ask. Are we from the same police station?
I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say?
Yeah, probably not. I don't remember you from anywhere.
God fucking shit.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind. Not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't let me stop you again.
Okay then, see you around, firefighter.
You think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you? That Ruby of yours?
Yeah, and?
Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Clausia. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end.
What do you mean?
Anything strike you a bit off about this mishmash?
Well, the bullet didn't have to come from the roof. It could have come from anywhere on the coast.
Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
The bullet was jacketed. Those don't just lie around everywhere, do they?
Good point. It is rather rare these days. But do continue.
The footprints in the pinball workshop didn't fit with the Odd Souls prints at the crime scene.
No, they didn't.
And so far, no one has mentioned hearing the shot.
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you.
I think I'm done thinking about this.
That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now. You know that. Free as a bird on that roof, lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me? Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. It's no use harassing her further.
Little Miss Clause right up there. Right there, watching everything going down around here. I have some theories about Miss Clausier. What she can and is doing. I got some theories.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Oh, I need to bump my...
Kuno doesn't.
Kuno doesn't fucking care. He doesn't care. Oh, playing with a choo-choo train. Screw you, Kuno. So, oh, okay, we gotta go be sad for a minute. Oh, this is always so sad and I hate it. Okay.
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man? Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same.
Where's Renee?
The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But he's really gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face.
Gone? Gone where?
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent.
Oh, how did he die exactly?
His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he is.
Wait, did he push himself to prove he can pull his weight and doesn't need handouts?
Guess he was about to head home, 'cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Kuketu uniform I saw him in all the time. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it.
That means the uniform could still be in the guard booth. Something to keep in mind if you really plan to give yourself to Revachol.
Was I planning to do that? You think our conversation about his job pushed him to go out there?
No. René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you or I could say would ever push him to do anything. The man was completely immovable.
Was he really that bad?
I repeat, an absolute Kent. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. He was like an old viper. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worth holding on to.
Did you love him?
We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that... Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were?
Something mean. He was a mean guy.
In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a cunt, and he died a cunt. Let's leave it at that.
You know what happened to his medals?
I took them for myself. Took them to remember that old cunt. Nobody knew him better than I did. And I want to remember that old cunt by something.
Fair enough.
Strange how old cunt sounds almost gentle when he says it now.
Oh. And Here's something to remember your friend by. Give him the photograph of Renee and the girl.
Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny... I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you. Thank you for this little memorabilia. It really means the world to me.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo.
Old people die, you better get ready to. No. I offer my sincere condolences.
Yes. We are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something.
Well, too bad he's gone. I was hoping to ask him about Maybells.
René wasn't really what you'd call a botanist, officer. And believe me, he didn't like Insulindian lilies.
Wait, Insulindian lilies?
That's their old name, dating back to the time of kings and crests, and all that other stuff he loved so much.
Then why didn't he like them?
There were many reasons, but mostly it was the communals. They called them the bells of revolution. I guess in the end, the Insulindian lilies were just another piece of the whole Insulinde. The royalists had to surrender to the Mazovian insurgents. It doesn't really matter anymore.
Tell me, what do you know about the dead man?
Everything, really. I probably knew him better than... You meant the teacup in the tree, didn't you? I don't know anything about him.
Teacup? Oh, because of the ceramic armor. Clever.
Yes. What about...
Yes.
Nothing.
It is what it is. I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you...
Poor old man.
You must need something.
Oh, he seems like a nice guy. Okay, bye for now. He seemed like an ass, but you know, everybody has somebody who loves them. Guard booth. Let's go check that out. That shadow just did something creepy. Right to work. What did I just get? Reptide. Girlodon. A sword. Oh yeah, Girlie gave me a sword because we went on a date. Oh. Okay. Picked it up, but it's not in my inventory. Got it. Something I still need to do in here? I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe try to open that thing with the convulsant.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. René left his uniform neatly folded on the table. Take it. It's just there. Who cares? It's not like anyone's gonna need it.
Oh, yoink!
I suppose René is not going to be needing it anymore. It's a bit too colorful for my taste, though.
That's gonna take my shit to the next level.
Fantastic. Try not to wear it with other similarly colorful clothes, okay?
Okay, what does it look like? Royal Care. Oh, yeah, it was orange and blue. These pants are made from synthetic lightweight fiber and designed to let a carabiner's legs and groin breathe. Red stripes are there to inspire courage, while the gold stripes symbolize the patriotic flame in the wearer's heart. Wait. Yeah, look at me. My crotch is well aired. I can, whoa. +1 to Revacholian nationhood. Proud nationalist.
Wow, this jacket makes you feel strong.
Oh, yeah.
As if your blood is mixing with that of the venerable Philippian loyalists of old.
Mixing? Does my blood need mixing, or is it good as it is?
Apologies. You're right. The need for a strong central government has always been clear to you. You're a true patriot of Revachol. It's time to clean up the streets and restore the city to its former glory. Whether you like it or not, this jacket gives you serious nationalist cred.
I feel like this is like walking around in like a SS uniform or whatever. It's colorful. I think I am gonna go with my RCM outfit though. What do I need? I'm gonna put on all my conceptualization. I think, damn, look at that. My breathable crotch and my high concept. Oh, lordy. I think a blue tie. Let's see. Wearing electrochemistry gloves. Balm gloves would be weird. That's some stuff right there. That's an outfit. I think I'll put my fallen glove back on. Okay. Let's check this out real quick. How fast I am. Like, Kim, keep up. This breathable crotch has made me zoom. Dang.
You're back before the cargo container.
Dang.
Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Okay. Let's... Hello? Weird.
You're back before the cargo container. Its draw, despite the dirt that surrounds and trails you, a beacon of light emerges from deep within you.
Hello, is
The
anyone
door
there?
stands silent.
Satisfied, detective?
Nope.
Try again.
If there's someone in there, I'd like to talk to you.
Just like that, you hear a click, then a rattle. Some mechanism unlocks itself inside the door.
Ahoy! Come on in!
You can't be serious.
Poor Kim. Jesus Christ, O'Malley. This is such a deeply ironic sequence considering the whole submersible stuff that has just gone down. I'm just gonna say it. Ooh.
The man stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review.
Squint.
Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. They are suspended, distorted, an echo. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard.
Okay.
In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Hello.
Welcome. Come in. Make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm not better able to receive you. I wasn't expecting visitors today.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything. Voice doesn't escape from him.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen?
Let's see. But you can see of his body appears composed in a sharp summer suit and yacht shoes. Who are you?
Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle these days. Anyhow, my name is Rustam Diodore, investor, license holder, and extremely high net worth individual. And you are?
Mr. Diodore, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM, and this is my partner.
Harrier Dubois.
Pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois. I must admit, the name suits you very well.
How did you become so rich?
To be perfectly blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself was an extremely high net worth individual back in Gra. All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices, and unsupervised state policy.
And blow.
So like being an extremely high net worth individual.
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so darn expensive. You know, prices increase exponentially at this income level. But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified that I'm bound to come out ahead no matter what. Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really.
It's great you've done so well for yourself, but you don't think you owe some of that wealth to the rest of society? Cool. I don't even have any interesting replies. You're a thief! People out there are working their asses off while you chilling here. Let's see. That's a very communist. These are both very communist. Don't you think you owe some of that wealth to the rest of society?
Sure. And they benefit when I buy things to stimulate the economy. Do you know how many jobs it takes to build and maintain a racing yacht?
1 million!
Dozens, at least. Of course, in the future, it will all be automated. But my point is this. Every man gets what he earns. It's the height of tyranny to take that from him.
Sure. All that money you earned from your grandma.
Capital makes one speechless, does it not? Blinds like the sun that rises from beyond the horizon after a gloomy winter.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need to ask him about.
There's something strange about you.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know how to put it. You look somehow a little different.
Are you talking about my chin?
No, I mean, I can't even see you. It's as if something is happening to the light.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient.
A what?
It's some statistical thing. In essence, it says that when an extremely low net worth individual meets an extremely high net worth individual, some of the laws of physics cease to apply.
Are you telling me that you're so rich light literally bends around your face?
Among other things. But calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire.
Really?
No, not really. There are actually quite many digits.
A man this chill is at least a triple-digit billionaire.
Kim, are you seeing this weird stuff?
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez, in a cargo container, which I admit is odd.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you. My container.
What are you doing in this container?
Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun, it's safe, and it gives me lots of time to think. By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
We're in Martinez, the district of Revachol, the former capital of the world.
Ah, Revachol. I remember walking its streets as a teenager. There used to be a bowling alley in Stella Maris. I wonder if it's still there. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money.
So why don't you help them? You've got so much money, it can't make a difference to you.
There simply aren't enough hours a day to hand out all the handouts. It's like feeding seagulls. There are always more, and they never seem to do anything interesting with it, except more seagulls. Spending money is a matter of desire. I'm sure you agree. I don't have the desire for spending it like that.
So you travel from place to place via shipping container?
Smart, you know? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subjected to. Luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, bail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois.
Ah, so you're saying being rich isn't worth the hassle. Yeah, that does sound pretty tiresome.
Don't get me wrong. They're nice things. But once you achieve a certain level of wealth, your time and mental space become much more important than material goods.
He speaks from the heart. He has very different problems compared to low net worth individuals such as yourself. For example, no problems at all.
So you're saying being rich isn't worth the hassle.
What? No, I did not say that at all. Being rich is great. Just don't tell anyone I told you that.
You're a rich investor, right? Can I have some money?
I don't see how it's appropriate for a representative of the law to ask a wealthy person for money.
Shut up, Kim.
This shines a bad light on the RCM, if you catch my meaning.
No, I don't.
Come now. There is not even a cent of corruption here. I'm merely being polite. So, let me check my pockets. As you may know, us high net worth individuals don't have a lot of cash on hand. Investments and liquidity are enemies of one another. I think I only have coins for coffee machines. Here is 3 real. How much can you get for this?
Unbelievable. You managed to meet a man who's so rich, light literally bends around him, and all you can get out of him is 3 real? What's wrong with you?
This gets me almost nothing.
That's the idea, my friend. You've got to work for the rest. Maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound?
These ultra-liberal types love losing huge sums of money on ludicrous proposals. Ergo, you should come up with a plan that's totally dead in the water.
Okay. Godly, present a sound investment plan. Present an investment plan that is sure to fail.
Congratulations. You've somehow managed to fail at failing, which means, in a strange way, that you've succeeded.
You should invest in a youth center.
A youth center, huh? What kind of youth center?
Come on, tell him what he wants to hear.
One dedicated to installing liberal economic values in children from low net worth families. Let's see. You know, a regular youth center with basketball courts and stuff. No. We gotta instill liberal economic values in children from low net worth families.
Brilliant. Without children, who'll be there to buy stuff in the future?
Yes. And if it doesn't work out, we can always repurpose the center as a shopping mall or private equity firm.
When life closes a door, it opens a window, yes? What's the expected return on this?
Let's see. Highly educated, work-ready human capital ready to be directed toward a number of your vast interests. With human beings, there's always a risk associated, which is why we've got to hold on to the center itself as a fallback.
You're deep into ultra-liberal territory now. Good work.
Very impressive. You've got a natural eye for unusual investment opportunities.
Yes, I know, I'm a superstar.
I don't normally do this without a formal pitch deck, but to hell with it. What's the point of being rich if you have to follow all the rules? Here's a round of seed funding. This should be enough to prove out the concept and get things off the ground.
Cha-ching! What'll it be? Speed? Vodka? Cigarettes?
Oh, thank you for placing your unwavering trust in me.
Remember, it's not a handout. It's an investment. And I expect to see returns.
The lieutenant stands there, dumbfounded. His mouth opens slightly, then closes again. Is he having a stroke?
What do you think, Kim? Kim, are you having a stroke?
No, I'm not having a stroke. You're just still full of surprises. Most of them bad, but some good.
The lieutenant has granted you an aura of legitimacy. Bathe in it, but don't let your satisfaction show. Play it cool.
Now, was there anything else I could help you gentlemen with?
We should get back to our investigation. Thanks for your time.
The pleasure was mine. Unfortunately, I must be away soon. The next time we meet, I'll be expecting an update on my investment. Farewell, friend, and may your peace of mind guide you to happiness.
Alright, buddy, I hope nobody drops your shipping container in the ocean. That doesn't work out well for rich guys. Okay. Oh my goodness. Did I talk to Everett for any reason? I think I got everything out of him that I'm gonna get. I need to go talk to Joyce about it.
Yes?
I need to get my Inland Empire up. Kim, hold on. I gotta change my clothes. Just like, what? Inland Empire. Let's see what we got. Not much. This. Man, my head hurts today. I like this one better. And that's it.
Yes?
What if you did it?
What? Did what? The hangman?
Yes, you killed him. And then, as part of the plan, you drowned out the memory.
What?
It wasn't that you were horrified. You were just surprised by your own daring.
Wasn't even here though.
Forgetting was merely a matter of convenience. Very clever. Maybe this is why your chest feels so hollow. You did an awful thing. And you can't even bring yourself to acknowledge it.
What?
Are you sure you would have the strength to take down a hardened mercenary? You're not in the best shape.
Kim, I think I may be the murderer. I killed the man and then tricked myself into forgetting about it.
And what has led you to this conclusion?
My chest feels hollow, like I did something terrible. Let's see. Murder in cold blood seems like a thing I'm capable of. If I just dare. What if I'm already dared? But it makes so much sense. It would have been so convenient for me to forget all about the murder and everything else. I'm a bad person. I believe I could have done anything. Let's see. My chest feels hollow, like I did something terrible.
That is a common side effect of overindulgence. It will pass. Besides, I doubt you could have taken down a hardened mercenary single-handedly.
Rude.
See? You're clearly not a man in your prime anymore.
Wow.
Don't take it personally. It's just that security guards kept on by large corporations tend to be better trained and better armed than officers of the RCM.
So you're saying I didn't kill him, but Kim, It turned out to be that I was the one racing around town in my motor carriage.
The victim wasn't run over by a drunk driver. So, while I can't condone your driving habit, the cases remain unrelated. Look, it's not unusual for detectives to feel complicit in a crime until the perpetrator is identified and apprehended, especially when the investigation is dragging. So, let's get back to it, shall we?
Okay. Well, I said nothing. You get nothing. Kim. Noon, Kim. Let's... You get through this way? Just got a bunch of speed.
The woman is still hunched over the railing.
Huh? What is it? What do you want?
She's just a distracted...
You hear that, Lowman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me.
Why is that, Lieutenant?
Nothing. I just don't...
A pale dream is what it is.
Thank you. I'll be back. I think I have to talk to Joyce first. It's Ruby's carriage. Oh no. I'm up here somewhere, somehow. Hello? No, down.
Make way for the master poet.
Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
Hey, Tommy, spill the beans. What's troubling you?
You really are the law, aren't you?
That all the beans you got, Tommy? Damn, it really is hard to talk, man to man.
So he won't talk to me anymore about Ruby. I got some speed. Jesus. Okay.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Yummy. Can I read the case files now?
Yes, at last. You find a way to piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. HDB 41, date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
Wait, HDB 41, weren't those officer precinct?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
An HDB?
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials. Harriet Dubois.
Harriet.
HDB.
Harriet Dubois. Okay, the Next World Mural.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. Cause of failure, rent too high. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible, only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class."
So sometime before November, there was a shootout at the church, which I'm pretty sure Harry was involved in. In November 7th, he was issued a new badge because either he lost the badge at the church or he was given a new rank. So he got a promotion for what happened in the church. And then here's a month later, he's got this mural case.
People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell-letchers have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
Wait, do I ever find out who came up with it?
The case files do not show you finding the author of the design.
So I could have just not put it in my case log.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
Keep the mural. It is right.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us.
All that remains is to wreak havoc on the middle class.
In any case, it appears to have been a rare case of civil activity in the quarter, and agreement as well. What do you want to tackle next?
The unsolvable case.
AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable. You were so drunk, you didn't remember what it was when you signed on. That, or you were high. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop displaying his genitals and for Burke to stop attacking things would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability.
Couldn't we just keep them off the streets?
You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition, because that's where the action is. Threatening, fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing?
Oh, Leslie is, property damage.
No, that's Burke.
Whatever.
Leslie's shtick is flashing his genitals, remember? How will you ever solve the unsolvable case if you can't even get that straight? Well, turns out it's pretty simple. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage, but the joke's on him. The officer is also drunk. Way more drunk than Burke there. And let's be fair, you also have party eyes. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face, then proceed to beat him unconscious with it. In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke. Kill them. They broke it. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore. Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved.
All you had to do was a little, police brutality.
Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing.
Of course.
The end. Do you want to read another one?
Oh, fucking A. That's, how would you say? So typical. ACAB, baby. The square bullet hole murders.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape.
But?
That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead.
A sequence killer?
Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next?
Fascinating.
One day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
Let's see. Okay, so I don't know when this happened. So sometimes there was a square sequence hole killer at some point. The couch in an unexpected location.
Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
They actually look like assholes.
Insufferable dicks. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it is. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved.
Did they ever catch those guys?
No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next?
All right. Murder at the hookah parlor.
Murder. Tum-tum-tum at the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor.
Wait, how?
Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlor.
Wait, so Judith Minot, would that mean this is her ex-partner? Joseph Mills? Interesting. Right, on with the murder.
Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had.
So wait, was Joseph Mills a good cop?
No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That murderer vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlor was all he talked about.
Go on.
Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day.
Can you get high off of it?
No, it's soot and water vapor. It doesn't do anything.
That's really stupid.
Yeah, so anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there, only client that day. In perfect health, too. Some kind of movie producer. No one enters, no one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be? Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin, movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Table's low, heavy, really sharp edge.
So he sucked hookah, stood up, passed out, hit his head on the table, and died.
See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom.
Wow, he must have sucked a lot of it.
Yeah, he liked his hookah. Stephen was his name.
What was he doing there for 6 hours?
Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next.
I can revisit this. Put the case file away.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden...
Okay. Welcome. Sorry. I was just catching up on my life. Do I still have my hat? I might have to go get my hat again from... Unless they fix that, but technically I think I can get my Dick Mullen hat. She's just like a magician. She's got tons. And beautiful's gonna happen. Oh, she's gone. Went to the village on the coast, officer. See you there. Ooh, shady. Shady lady. Bag. Sorry, I needed a cigarette. Cigarette. Around, go down the street here. Cross the water lock.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
Ooh. I see a pair of water blue shades. The writing on the left temple says, Sub-insulindic rendezvous. The frame appears to be hand carved out of bone.
Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture.
Alright, try them on.
This is how a sea monster sees the world. You've become a sea monster, Harry. Giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. All is blue. All right, but these actually make your vision worse. It's like literally being underwater.
Interesting.
Wow, officer. You look
Wow.
so cool. And they can be yours for a mere 3 real. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste. But you found them.
Kim, what about these?
The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination.
You look like a musician. Like a blind musician. But you could do worse. Take them if you want.
Yes.
A man who knows his style. Much respect.
Yeah, so much
A
money
good
now.
starter pay. You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Gotta prepare for springtime, right?
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them. They're the star of the show here.
Super cool.
The sneakers seem to vibrate in your hands with an almost mystical energy. These once mighty speakers have been conquered, reduced to a small heat emboss on the veneer reads.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here.
I already bought the sneakers.
So you did. Now put them on and look at them, officer. Make the people jealous of your premium lifestyle.
Can't I just buy the sad Conquer Sumerian speakers?
No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk.
But I need some speakers.
Well, if you want them, on the one hand, these speakers are socialist garbage. On the other hand, you did buy the sneakers. So I don't really need them anymore. Okay, officer, they're yours. For 50 cents.
Okay.
The junk is yours, officer. Happy listening. Right.
Thanks, buddy.
The Delta Logistics Company truck stands here waiting, reflecting white light from the courtyard behind it.
Delta Logistics Company.
You knew it would be here, blocking the gate.
Are there people in there?
Yes, people hard at work at their desks. They can barely tell if it's day or night anymore, because the lights in the building are so uniform and bright. Who knows when they'll come out?
What keeps them motivated?
Irony. They're yuppies masquerading as Mazovians. Or was it Mazovians masquerading as yuppies? Even they get confused sometimes. Out here in poverty-stricken Martinez.
Why is the light so strange?
Because this is a place of mystery.
Hey, Kim, let's try to get into that courtyard. That's where idiot Doomsbrio said we could find the cocaine skull.
A mythical cocaine skull could hardly be of any consequence to our ongoing investigation. You can come back to it on your own when we are done with this case.
Let it go for now. I don't know. So, Delta Logistics Company is a code, I think, for download content DLC, which I don't think will ever get made. For this game, they're talking about doing a sequel, which may or may not bring us back to this location, with these characters. So it's kind of, who knows? But I don't think it's ever gonna happen, personally. But shit like that happens. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold.
The trap is full of locusts.
Still no fast food. Fast food. Come on, Kim. Oh, Kim. Wait here. Do do do. Do 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 do. Hello, pretty lady.
I see you haven't left our little Martinez yet. Still running around. Like some kind of cross-country law official.
I still have a case to solve.
Hi. I guess you do. What's on your mind, officer?
I'm looking for someone else, actually.
Oh? Who?
I'm looking for a suspect who might have stayed in this neighborhood.
Okay. When did this person stay here?
Very recently, over the past few days, she might have arrived on Friday.
Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning.
Really?
Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else.
That's it. I'm not looking for anyone else right now.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
I'll be seeing you. Let's talk to the old lady. Actually, let's get some of this nonsense out of the way, and then we'll focus on Ruby. Oh, there she is.
I'll just keep the Cor de Leche in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way.
Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, detectives. It's good to see you here. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Have you been spying on us?
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the Cor de Leche red. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White.
So how do you like it here?
How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name. All the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
All right. Politics time. Let's react.
You're right to be scared. This is your fault. You're in no danger. The working class have no idea what's happening to them. Try not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks. Place is doomed either way. Don't worry, I got her sword.
Perhaps you shouldn't have. I sort of liked it on her.
Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus clouds, twisting into each other. The wind tugs and stretches them over the bay. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly, but perceptibly.
Have I told you how they discovered this place?
Let's see, the fishing village?
No, they're in Sealindian, Isola.
What is an Isola exactly?
I'm guessing you don't know then.
No, you haven't told me how they found it.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
45% is around where I operate. Things are getting better, though.
I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Tell me now, we have time.
Do we?
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you. Maybe there is something else I can assist you with, while you're hot in pursuit.
I've been dealing with Everard again.
Oh?
Ma'am, this whole thing is a takeover.
Is what you're about to say when a cold streak runs through your heart. Once said, there is no going back, Harry.
Yes, there's still reality-based knowledge I can glean from her.
Yes. What if something happens to her and you've left one question unasked? Sneaky little question escaped your eye.
Mr. Everett helped me find my gun.
Oh. That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is trembling. He's able to contain the anger and surprise.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun?
No need to flash my gun around. Let's just say I have it now, thank God.
Thank God. And indeed, Mr. Everett as well.
Let me
In
talk
this
about...
investigation, one may have use for a firearm. You wouldn't want to get caught with your pants down.
I'd rather talk about something else for now, if you don't mind.
Of course, Detective. You can always drop by later, should something come up.
I have some questions
Now,
about
what else can I do for you?
reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Okay, that's all
Glad to have been of assistance.
I need to get conceptualization up. One more. Let's see, what have I got? Ooh. What do my fallen pants do? I don't know. I like my perception boots. Let's see. I'm gonna need savoir-faire, I think. Logic? Okay. I was actually gonna look at something. Why did you even buy these? There's no magic speakers. They're lame speakers. All they will ever produce is a faint memory of the song you're trying to listen to. Sell them for cash. Okay.
The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp.
Gosh. Need hand-eye coordination.
The Greatest Innocence. By browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain. You can do it. It'll be worth it. There's something here. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well. It's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This
Okay.
might take a few minutes. You ready?
Sure, why not?
That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence? Dolores Day.
Dolores Day?
Incorrect. Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions. Among these, the moral intern, she was powerful and beautiful on all her icons. Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises to the back of your throat, and it hurts. You see a flash silver, a wreath, an airport bag, and blonde hair. You don't know why. Another choice, perhaps? Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one.
What?
A strange sensation of loss. When she left the earth, the dust, and the ice, and the humans. That is unimportant to the quiz. Stop thinking about this. Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of Dolores Day, Who was the first innocence? It wasn't Dolores Day.
Aracanassian?
Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum. As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party. Question 2. Who was the strongest innocence? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody.
That doesn't sound too familiar to me. Shoot me a hint.
An innocence is the highest category of historical personage in the world, a literal personification of history. Traditionally, an innocence, when anointed, assumes supreme rule over the Occident or the known world in general. At least the parts that matter.
Okay, very interesting, but that doesn't help me answer the question.
I can do better. Okay, so commonly, an innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. This is seen as unnecessary. The innocence wins because an innocence can't help but win, for their deeds are inevitabilities. Did this help?
No.
Damn. Dolores.
Franco Negro?
Correct. Named the innocence of militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the Inter-Isolari Real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue. Question 3. Who was the false innocence?
All news to me. Stepan the Despicable.
Incorrect. Stepan the Despicable, regent of Kedra, was a ruler who conquered the known world during the Kedriatic conquest, instead of the despotic Erno Pasternak. Would you try again?
Erno Pasternak?
Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences, some assumed to have innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Erno Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence? The most important of them all. The most precious to humankind. I don't even have to say it anymore.
You sound confident. Go right ahead. A hint will come in handy. No, it's Dolores Day.
Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence. A most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-isolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful, and more beautiful, and more beautiful. Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get a B. Good enough. Everyone misses a few from time to time. You would have done better if you just dialed the Dolores Day down a bit.
Damn you, you arrogant book.
What's going on with you?
What? Thinks it's so smart. Goddamn.
Okay.
You are shouting at an inanimate object like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have trouble with the right answers.
Put the book away. Okay. I think I read this.
In your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick money.
Yeah. The Cockatoo book. I read this one. I read this. Map of Martinaise.
The worn map features the patchwork grid. Your finger moves through the very... Finally, coming.
Yeah.
6 crumbling petals rest on...
Okay.
The edges of the pages are worn and smudged. A lot of people have read about the Devil Woman. The jacket copy proclaims, "Man from Heimdall returns in his most exciting adventure yet. After crashing into a strange jungle, cannibalistic natives abduct his only surviving comrade, Noble Tyribald. Before Man from Heimdall can mount a rescue, he is ambushed by a tribe of female warriors and taken to the ancient citadel of Cloud City, where a mysterious and wicked queen rules supreme. Will Man from Heimdall be able to escape his dire situation and find his missing friend?"
I'm gonna flip through the book.
You open the book to a random page. Man from Heimdall, wielding his 2 Zweihanders, is carving through a sea of savages, his visage fixed in grim determination. His arms, whirling like windmills, are soaked with the blood of his enemies. Mangled corpses litter the battlefield. Good God, this is some retrograde stuff. When was this shit written? You flip to the copyright page. This book was written in 38.
Okay. Close
The
the
edges
book.
of the pages are worn and smudged. A lot of people have read about the Devil Woman's altercations with the Heimdall man.
I personally love a good high fantasy Conan the Barbarian. Problematic.
The bullet
Whatever.
is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp.
Okay, so I need... What, this was hand-eye coordination?
The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag.
And I need conceptualization.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Have you seen a red-headed haired woman named Ruby around the coast?
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Because she's blind, which you seem to have forgotten.
Oh, because you're blind, right?
It's a sharp one.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works. And it doesn't work when people tell on each other.
This is like when that man locked himself in the woodshed. We just need to help her come out.
No, it's not like that, man. With him, we called you. Right now, you just arrived by yourself, like a raven plucking at the window glass.
Enough of this. She better start talking right now.
Well, let's not yell at the old woman. I see you know something, but you've decided not to tell us.
There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too.
Okay. Do.
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others.
Well, Shiver's told me about this. Shiver tells me about a lot of things that's going on in the city. And I have a theory about the hole in the church having taken Harry's memory. I wonder if it replaced it with the memory of these other weird things.
The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched.
Move the board aside.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
What's in here?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though.
Search through the sand and the sawdust.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then something hard wrapped in paper.
What is it?
A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet.
A bullet, interesting.
The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. It's extra ammunition. She's locked and loaded, ready to fight some cops.
Interesting. Dun-dun-dun. Mm-mm. Boom, boom. Oh. Mm. Dun, 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 dun.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack?
Damn that girl.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
A bullet? You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
And you rented the room to her?
Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
That's for the police to find out. Right then. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
You said she left on Monday.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Was there anything else there?
No.
What is she like, Ruby?
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
Why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
Your hand twitches, a single bullet hidden from sight. Remember the way it slides into the barrel, the muzzle of the loaded weapon pointed at your heart. It feels familiar, doesn't it?
I have a possible explanation in mind.
Aye. Do tell.
It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
Her life?
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
Not a quitter, like you sometimes get, son.
Old lady just burned me. Oh my gosh. I heard she was a heavy drinker with anger issues. You ever witness that kind of behavior?
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset. She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself, the way some people do.
Did she have any technical equipment with her, like radio stuff?
Not that I knew of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape milieux she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
True fact. Where did she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
This is a cool moment. It needs a cool thing to be said.
Let's rock with our cock. That's not very cool. Further up the coast we go then. Let's see. But that place is huge. She's a needle in a haystack. Man, I was really hoping she'd be hiding in this village. Aren't you sure she didn't go somewhere more pleasant and less wet? Oh, and I'll be a baby. Let's rock with our cock.
What?
I meant let's rock out with our cock out.
You're still not saying it right.
Let's rock with our cocks out?
It's too late now.
The old woman shakes her head slowly.
I almost got it. Okay. Further up the coast we go.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? Seems like a better idea to me.
I agree.
The failed electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again.
What more do you want to know about that poor girl? Yes,
Nothing.
let's hear those other one. She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
Okay. Dun, dun. How close am I? This is not helping me. What am I doing? I need 32 points. Okay. What can I do besides this? The Clausage buoy. Make Van Eyck's jam hardcore. Help Egghead with the beat. This may take a while. Clause about the Sunday night. I don't have to do that. Find... Tim's not around. Find the murder weapon. Perform an advanced analysis using HE coordination. What is a race? I'm not going to do that one. Determine where the shot came from. Ask about Ruby in the village. Okay. I need to ask about the pail. If I could finish...
Hello again.
I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
You look like someone who has money. Do you have money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
Let's see. Could I have some of that unimportant money then?
Oh, no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms. I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
By the way, do you work out?
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and then.
What's Lomantan stick fighting?
It's an anthropological heritage of the Lomantang people. A martial art of sorts, but what not a lot of books mention is that it also carries a cultural significance among the Lomantangs, as it used to be the best means of showing off to look for a bride, which, interestingly enough, brings us to the socio-economic structure of the traditional rural tribes of the Lomantang Isles, which...
He goes on to give you a detailed overview of their way of life, the amiable, slightly nervous smile not once leaving his face.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying...
I'm not really interested in the practice. I just want to know how often you work out. Hey, how much do you work out? We should work out together sometime. Now and then, that's like once a week?
Lomantang stick fighting is a little like a Berolidin addiction. I've been practicing it for nearly 20 years now, so you could say that my doses have grown a little peculiar.
You've been doing Perolidin for 20 years? What?
Wait, what does this man know about Pyrrolidon addiction?
Oh, hold on. Perolidon addiction? What an interesting metaphor. Or perhaps not a metaphor at all.
You got me, Detective. But my history should hardly come as a surprise.
Dad's fighting with sticks every night after dinner for 4 hours. He has a special room for that, and a special costume.
Is he like Daredevil?
That's right, Mikhail. It also has a meditative quality. helps to clear my head. But anyway.
That's right. Let's see. My so yeah, okay. Okay. Interesting. Let me go look for a buoy. Buoy. Close to my... Not close at all. Jesus Christ, O'Malley. Jesus Christ, O'Malley. I might have to go talk to... the dice lady? Could this be the could this be the buoy Clage told you about? Probably.
A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first, it just looks like trash. But if you look closer...
That over there must be the boy Klaas she told us about. The one she hid her passport in. We should take a look.
Cold, air, tendons. Snapped the cords keeping the buoy in place. A little longer and it would be floating somewhere out in the open sea.
What?
Moves across the water, leaving no traces. You're cold again, as always.
Who or what is it?
Splendor.
Oh. Damn, I feel really strange just now.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, whatever. You always feel a little strange, sir. We're lucky it's still here a little longer and it would have floated away.
Indeed.
Pick up the buoy.
Let's see.
The buoy is not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom really have been torn or cut. You lift it out of the water easily, noticing how light it is.
Examine the plastic ball.
The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch has cracked.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
Shake the buoy.
There's something in there, splashing around.
Sniff the buoy.
It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop and decay. And just a dash of hard liquor. Yum. The water this side of the peninsula is cleaner. Actually, smells a little salty.
Let's open the buoy.
A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae. And nothing else.
Well, damn.
No documents. Who do you think took them?
I have no idea.
This is a minor quirk. We know what was in the buoy. This is a disaster. Everything is ruined. No, this is just a minor quirk. We know what was in the buoy anyway.
Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope.
Maybe Clage took them herself. Could this be related to the cryptozoologists and their little expedition?
In my experience, cryptids are generally uninterested in travel documentation. We should go.
You could ask the miss what she thinks. Later, if you have the time. Though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
Let the empty buoy be. What? I can go this way. What am I thinking? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Gotta get the beat. Turn the beat around. Is a slit in the concrete here a sewer? Let's see. Love to feel percussion. Guys dancing? You should have been dancing the whole time I've been gone.
Good morning, comrade! Yeah! Harder car!
That was a crazy sound we heard before.
Yeah! It was awesome and scary. Very hardcore. Too hardcore, in fact. I couldn't control it.
What happened?
At all.
What happened?
It sucks up all the air in the mix until it's the only thing left. Starts compressing itself and everything around it. Completely fills up the headspace. Extreme.
Inside your chest, the heart beats still with the after effects of the sound. Imagine if you could harness that power, making it pulse.
What if this is the answer to Van Eyck's jam? We could use the sound for the bass.
Oh! But how?
What about the compressor? The one with the spiky hair was setting up to achieve some sort of parallel processing.
How do you like it in the church?
Yeah! Back on the case! No disgrace! Bring it down to party place! The first page of the second chapter!
Could it be? Maybe for him, you only have a chapter or two left in you. Last of the penultimate, more like.
Let me... I really need to put on my working out interfacing outfits here. Interfacing. Do I have any negative interfacing? No. If I have much that does interfacing, let's see. Hand-eye coordination, we'll need that later. Interfacing? Ooh, this is +2. Interfacing? Anybody? Reaction speed and hand-eye coordination. Interfacing would be... yellow, which is Motorix. Speed plus Motorix. Kim, don't look. Well, Jesus, I got so much speed. Why is it so weird? I'm just double fisting the speed here. A little magnesium. Oh.
Good morning, comrade! Yeah! Harder car!
Let's try to fix this music.
Sidechain the beat.
What does that even mean? It means that when the beats go in, it's always below the music.
Listen, you can use the compressor to select between which track it's compressing, either the auxiliary signal or the main input from the tape. Make it alternate between the signals. The compressor controls the gain based on the level of the signal on the aux sidechain input. It will allow maintaining a loud sound without peaks that fill up all the headspace.
Okay, Egg, you need to start side-chaining it.
Side-chaining it, you said?
Turns down the music, his hands moving deftly across the mixer, setting up the necessary controls.
Then he puts on his headphones and his eyes go wide, wider than they've ever gone on drugs. He starts jumping up and down, with bliss, in total silence, still listening to his headphones.
Hey, what did you do to Egghead, Cop Man? Did you break him?
Just wait and see, yeah.
Are you ready, pussy?
Noid straightens his back, ready.
I was born ready, Egg.
We get to listen?
The audio assault is glorious. The speed freak dances on the stage, intensely waving his hand in the air.
This is beauty! This is life!
What in the world is going on? The way melody and bass flow together. It's unnatural.
Your body is taking a beating from the low frequencies crashing over you. It's making you feel alive again.
This one is for the anhedonic generation.
Introducing the ultimate sound!
We have tamed the sound and made it our own.
God damn it. This dance club idea might just work out.
DeLorean Church! The place to be! Pump it! Pump it!
This is it. This is a new era. The fabric of the world has been irrevocably altered.
All right, goodbye, Egghead.
Yes, what is it?
I need to know about the pail before I can even ask this question. Oh.
Yes, what is it?
Have you seen anyone suspicious, say a woman named Ruby?
What? No, no one's suspicious around here.
Okay. Ask everyone about Ruby?
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
I gotta unlock conceptualization here. Okay. Gotta find out about the murder weapon too, which is hand-eye coordination, which... Can I get 80 skill points? We're heading back over there? Probably. Alright, put on every bit of conceptualized clothing I have, which is... Already probably wearing it here. Conceptualization. There's a brain thing. I should smoke a ciggy. Okay. You gotta have it in the right hand. All right. Just quick save. I don't know why.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Well, let's see what happens.
Aggressive, monotonous, but also somehow sacred, primitive, yet futuristic, like a machine man. Nothing exists but the here and now. All are one purpose. All you've managed is a list. The parts don't form a whole.
Dead body, spirit entered. What is there to talk of? Sure.
Well,
dead body, spirit entered, the mass murderer. Why?
Yeah, but like, who isn't accused of being a mass murderer these days? Isn't it so? Or I'm gonna talk about it.
Okay. Sure.
He's like, whatever. Let's... Anything else? Let's look out. So we had a point out here that could be a point. I need to be quite this far out. We need to be out. We're taking a broad view here.
Yes?
The boardwalk rises to your south. It casts its long shadow over you. Let's see. Do I actually want... I have my Insulindian tie on here. I think I actually need perception. Oh no, I have my Shivers tie on. Never mind. Doo-doo. Doo-doo.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower. In the distance, you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags.
Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator?
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2-kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out... Biddable Prime, was it?
Maybe the assailant climbed the comms tower and took the shot there.
It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
It does look extremely rickety, and wouldn't help much either.
And what about the cigarette butts?
Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joanne? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Still, you felt it was important enough to make a mental note. That means something. You didn't pay attention to any of the other cigarette butts on the coast.
Look over the water to the whirling in rags.
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, through a thick snowstorm melting flake by flake in the waves, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the whirling in rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender, smoking, drinking, being happy and elated, without you. Because you're here, freezing in the wind, aren't you? Doing your detective work.
Finish the thought. This relay tower coordinates boat traffic in the bay. Okay. I'd be doing visual calculus for this. Okay. So let's go talk to Joyce one more time. Do I want to go? Need to pass the conceptualization check before she leaves town. I need to pass a conceptualization check.
The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth.
Oh!
There's no echo, and no answer.
What's in there?
Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer.
Kim? Any idea what's down there?
No idea. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here.
Think we might find Ruby down there?
We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Revachol sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now. In conclusion, she could be under any building.
But not in here.
I hope not.
Why not? Okay. Let's... What was D prime? Do I remember? I think it was way out here. Hello? Stop messing with the coin viewer and hold on to something. The wind is so strong.
There's some tear. Two empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find. No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
A tragedy.
Well... Getting late. That's okay. He's always up. I need a boost hand-eye coordination for the bullet. need to learn about the freaking pale. Standing unnecessarily close.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Let's ask some questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day.
Don't
Go ahead. Ask me anything.
fuck this up, please.
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
What world is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
What do you see?
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
A frisson lifts the hair on the back of your arm. Wind sweeps the surface of the bay.
The wind is sweeping the waters.
The world is a suzerainty of Revachol.
Suzerainty. Isn't that the kingdom?
There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included.
What is it?
Elysium.
Elysium. The world needs a term of endearment. Let's see.
It does. There are those who would call it hell.
And what's hell?
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
I don't feel like they got the whole picture yet. I don't feel like I have got the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
And how come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
Inside, sideways. What shape is this world then?
We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s.
ORG, Occident Revachol Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
A dark grey corona?
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
What is a corona besides a beer? Just get the beer. So yeah, the part of your eye resembling or likened to a crown. The world is shaped like a crown. Pale covers 70% of the surface. There are gray flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago. In astronomy, the rarefied gaseous envelope of the sun and other stars. The sun's corona is normally visible only during the total solar eclipse, when it is seen as an irregularly shaped, pearly, glowing glow surrounding the darkened disk of the moon. So something roundish and spiky, like a crown, or the edge of the sun during a solar eclipse. Interesting. Interesting.
A cold fear seeps into you.
Oh my god, wait. What the hell are you telling me?
You seem to be spooked.
Why am I
Please
spooked?
don't be.
Why does this scare me? The world is not a ball, a solid mass. It's spiky and irregular and filled with pale. And the pale, what do you mean corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness.
I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
So a fractured corona doesn't feel like it's going to bring anyone together. I don't know about that.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Well, if you say it's disco.
See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
The cold seeps into you. The air is heavy with 80% humidity. Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glasses.
And you said pale. What is pale?
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. We do have a case to attend to.
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
I don't want to. I want to know what the pale is.
I don't think your colleague would appreciate that. He has already been so patient with this whole exercise. Let's continue with something else, all right? You can ask about anything else in the world. Anything.
You could sneak back later when the lieutenant is not here, unless you can convince him to step aside.
Kim trusts me. Ask Kim to step a while you discuss the pale. Kim, I'm an adult. Could you give me some space?
Good idea. Just ask him. He won't make a scene.
Kim, can I talk to the ma'am alone for a second?
Fine.
See? What can he do? You're a grown man.
Now, what is the pale?
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
Yes, what is the pale?
Okay. The pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
Okay, wait, and what is an isola?
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
And Insulinde is...
an oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
Okay, what is the pale like?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
Achromatic. Definition. F. Relating to employing or detonating lenses that transmit light without separating it into its constituent colors. What? Being or involving black, gray, or white. Okay, yeah. Weird way of saying that. Okay, is it here?
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
6,000 kilometers from the end of the world?
Yes. That is enough. Many cities are built much closer.
And point north. There?
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called
porch collapse.
Porch collapse.
Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapour, marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
Okay. That was not, Science? Okay.
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly.
What are its physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
There's a slippery article in there.
Is it the Pale or Pale?
Pale when it's particular, this territory of Pale. The Pale when it's pale in its entirety.
Okay.
Once you've seen it, language balks at the difference.
So if we're surrounded by Pale, how do you get from Isola to Isola?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost. Or having our minds damaged.
So the Pale can damage the mind?
Extensively.
Ow.
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
Who says and who argues?
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
What does this over-radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of Pale exposure per year.
It's more for her. Way more.
You're not a civilian passenger.
No, Lieutenant Dubois. I'm entreprenetic business class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually.
Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
Do lorry drivers pass the Pale?
Yes. Carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon.
You should ask the Pale driver about this. See what she says. That poor woman must have stories to tell, like you wouldn't imagine.
And are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
An acidic...
No, detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north.
As your gaze instinctively turns north.
An uproar. Imagine
the
most...
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly.
What is entropinetic?
Entroponetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super Isola. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
Did they cross it, the Western Plain?
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
And what has entreprenetics changed then?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
Aerostatic craft?
Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
And if we do not?
Then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
And how much Pale is there compared to the world?
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter. And the ratio is slipping.
Slipping how? To our detriment, or...?
What do you think, Detective?
Shrinking. There's more and more of the world. No, it's growing. There's more and more of the Pale.
Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
Cover everything? That can't be. Where would we go?
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth open.
Off we go into the wild Pale yonder.
One and all. They say Pale is death, but for the universe.
Why should we just leave, and the world get left behind?
Let's return to reality, please.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective, is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
I sometimes sense vague shadows of a past, and it's not good.
Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
Let's see. That we continue to persist at all is a testament to our faith in one another. Its advance can only be stopped with immediate, total, ruthless communism. Okay. A powerful anti-communist force. Perhaps too powerful, but still, they have it coming. I'm worried. I have to say, it doesn't sound very liberal to me. I don't know how they've all survived with it. A huge accomplishment. I don't know how you've all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. I think it's disco.
Your ailing constitution, sweaty forehead, the beads there, and your heavy breathing.
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
I'll handle it. It's under control. This investigation will be my masterpiece. The one they remember me by, I promise. But yes, it seems I'm in serious trouble here. A fucking disaster. I know it. All these people will die. But this investigation will be my masterpiece. The one they remember me by, I promise.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile, you have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
Good. You have not passed out from it. Perhaps I worried for nothing. Are we still on the reality lowdown, or should we do actual police work now?
Let's see. Right, let's get to work, Lieutenant.
Good luck, detectives.
Actually, I need to talk to you.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I've been dealing with Everett again.
Oh?
Ma'am, this whole thing is a takeover.
A takeover?
Yes, it's not a strike. You aren't being let in because there's nothing to negotiate. The union is taking the terminal.
If they're taking it...
Green livery, changing into red, blot by blot, like a cancer of the blood, metastasizing.
Then we're talking about a war. Everett needs to let me into the harbor at once. We need to talk about this.
He's ready for a war. They all are.
They most certainly are not. Crenell has 1,000 men on their payroll.
The next batch will be a platoon of 20 men and a gunship.
I've seen the Union's forces. They are better organized than these mercenaries. They also have the support of the people of Revachol West. It will take more than Crenel to wipe them out. Wild Pines will need to send more and better equipped men. Make no mistake, ma'am. I am sure you have the money. The question is, how many years and how many lives are you willing to sacrifice?
What do you suggest I do?
First, will this affect your decision-making process?
Everything affects the decision-making process, Detective.
Officer?
The look on the lieutenant's face conveys uncertainty. He doesn't even sound angry. Okay. It's not the RCM's job to make these decisions. The workers should have the job. Cut off the snake's head. Everett's pushing all this. It's a bluff. Call it. Have them open fire and see how long they last. No. Bring in everything you have and let's wipe them from the face of the earth. It's apocalypse o'clock. Time to commence the glooming. Wish there was a disco option.
I'm afraid we won't disco our way out of this one.
True. The workers should have the harbor. The workers should, I mean... Cut off the snake's head. Everett's pushing all this. I think they'd not be on... Just assassinate Everett. Cut off the snake's head. The workers should have the harbor.
Do you think it's within my authority to give it to them? Do you think I can control the board and the shell-shocked mercenaries they've sent?
So what are you gonna do?
What will I do?
Her arms fall to her sides. Her spine relaxes.
Did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isola? During our reality lowdown?
No, ma'am.
It may be the only break we've ever caught as a species. The last one for 400 years.
Why?
The nations who colonized this Isola called theirs Muindi, the world. It was all they knew, all they thought would be. That there would be something more was a gamble, akin to another world, or life after death. The Pale was thought to be impregnable, perpetual. Irene la Navigateur, the Queen of Suren, sent 8 expeditions, one after the other, into the mass at the edge of the world. 5 of the crews did not return. 2 did, but had lost their minds.
Each of those expeditions would have been led by an admiral. Sounds like a purge. Like she was purging her political rivals.
Sounds political.
There was no precedent for such an undertaking. People thought she was punishing the admirals, or had gone mad, or both. Until after years of trial and error, and the development of a strict psychological regime imitating the creation process of poetry.
Called Volta do Mar, or Return from the Sea.
The 8th expedition returned sane and intact. They told of a new continent of matter. They told the Queen and her counselor, Dolores Day, that the Pale had begun to condense, day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, slowly raining down until it formed a vast ocean.
The air is cold and scented with petrichor. There are rain circles on water all around. Humidity crawls up your back like a piano trill.
Put your hand in the rain.
So does the lieutenant. His mouth is slightly open as he looks to the sky. The droplets feel warm, like spring rain.
This ocean?
The phenomenon has never again been encountered. For a time, the crew thought they were experiencing a hallucination. The mass hand proclaimed, "Lancielinde, Lancielinde," the signal to wake up.
Wait, what happened? I'm a little confused by this. They told of a new continent. They told the Queen the Pale had begun to condense day after day, hour after hour, minute, slowly raining down until it formed a vast ocean. Okay, so the edge, the Pale rained down until it became actual water. Interesting.
But they could not. They were sane and conscious, as islands began to appear on the horizon. There are 78,000 uninhabited islands in the Insulindian archipelago, officer. The freckled face of God.
You've thought it a million times.
After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the Pale. After the Pale, the world again.
A total shift in human comprehension of reality. On the second day, a great skua was shot down above the flagship Lizargique. The bird was preserved and brought back, along with pollen. 4 years later, the Queen's Counsellor was proclaimed Her Innocence Dolores Day, the elected world spirit. The age of humanism, internationalism, and parliamentary rule followed. We were high.
Leaving us here?
On Caillou. The Pebble, the largest of the fertile, uninhabited islands of the northeast Insulindian archipelago. 4 centuries and 2 revolutions later...
The great skua was the first bird they saw.
The first living, autonomous organism. Proof of reality. It's the symbol of Insulinde, detective. The coat of arms of the suzerain and the wings on the crest of the commune.
They seem to have it in for it. Or it for me, I broke one.
In your defense, it is a nasty creature who plucks food from the throats of lesser birds. Yet much like Revachol, it is also magnificent and rare. Imagine the suzerain of seagulls.
This was the last break we got?
The nations of Mundi proceeded to discover 5 more Isolae. Or they discovered us. All in the rush of the great inter-Islary reconnection. But these others weren't uninhabited. We had to kill people there. Wipe out indigenous populations. Gunboat economies. Or they came to do the same for us. Or had done to each other. But here, there was no one but the skua, the Liliat Sea, and the Blood Beach, and the River Esperance. It was the new world. The Mondials used it to amass the greatest concentration of wealth mankind has ever seen. Revachol, the suzerain.
And what happened?
Revolution. Poverty. And the mercurial rise of capitalism.
It's raining.
It is. Soon it will be spring and everything will blossom.
The gangs will run wild, jacking motor carriages, ferrying amphetamines through Coal City. Spring is tough in Revachol.
And what will you do?
I will take your advice, Lieutenant Jeffreta. I will surrender Terminal B to the Union.
I thought it was not within your means.
She puts her hand in the rain. She's silent for a second.
We will see.
Ma'am, this may well unravel property law this side of the river. If that occurs, we may never see the end of this kind of confrontation. The next time there will be 2 strikes, then 4, then 100.
What happens will happen. The age of capital has only begun. I will talk to my employers in person. We will amputate and cauterize Martinez. If you handle the situation on the ground.
You're going now?
Yes, Mr. Clare has a 2-month head start. I can't let it grow any bigger. And I've exhausted all my options from here.
She generally avoids that term with her employers. This is red chicken up either.
There are no employers. She's a member of the board. Probably a partner.
You are the Wild Pines. There are no employers.
You are the citizens' militia. There are no superiors.
What? Of course I have superiors.
That's right, Detective. And next time, you should confer with them before you go setting events in motion.
Wait. You are the citizens' militia. There are no superiors. I wonder what she means by that. Ugh. Is she talking about the fact that the citizens' militia is potentially trying to kick the moral intern out anyway in Revachol? Even after all this time, I still don't really understand who you are and what your angle is.
I have not deceived you. I told you exactly who I was. Rejoice Layton.
You need to look me up. It's your own freaking problem. Okay. So, understood.
Keep the peace, and I will keep my end of the bargain.
How far along is Crenell's investigation?
A confrontation is imminent. They have followed in your footsteps. As your investigation reaches a climax, so does theirs. They are your shadow. Arm yourselves. Armor yourselves. Protect their targets. Violence may be unavoidable, but we can limit the casualties. Soon. I do not know precisely. They have cut off all communication, you see. They know I've been feeding you information. One last thing, Lieutenant Dubois. I've given the matter much thought and come to this conclusion. You're not an amnesiac. You're insane. I know, because I, too, am insane. I just hide my illness better. And I'm rich.
Isn't everybody a little insane?
No, Detective. No one's as insane as you.
Don't worry, madame. I am very sane.
You're overradiated.
I'm overexposed, baby. My travels take me through the Pale dozens of times a year. I've got the longing. And I've got it bad.
How do you keep it together?
The same strict psychological regimen the 8th Admiral developed when he crossed the Pale and discovered this Isola. The Volta do Mar. It's used by inter-Easterly travelers and other troubled souls, even to this day.
You could use a little of it yourself.
Goodbye, Rejoice Layton.
Watch out for yourselves. They will strike soon.
The lieutenant watches her boat grow smaller on the bay, its white sails fluttering. Slowly, the sails turn grey-blue as more oxygen gets between you.
Okay, I need hand-eye coordination. Unlock that one thing.
You're back.
No.
Good. What can I help you with?
Well, that was odd. We're talking to a ghost. Okay, I'm gonna quick save here because I need to determine where the shot came from. Check the boardwalk for bullet traces. Check the island for bullet traces. Ask about Ruby in the village. Ask Claude about Sunday. Find the murder weapon. I'm gonna talk to the pale lady. The Insulindian Miracle. Oh, come on. I'll read it. You were reminded of a poem somewhere deep inside you, the translation of which you don't remember. Nulla sarà cambiato della luce? It begins, colori something something, tutti frutti. I don't know. You were reminded of it when you heard of the discovery of Insulendia, but what does it mean, and how do you know it by heart? Okay. Okay. Can I fast travel? I fast travel. Why can't I fast travel sometimes? Because of where I'm located? Do I need to... this way? I don't think they show up until after I talk to Ruby. Fingers crossed. If they're here, I'm screwed. I want to talk to the Pale driver really quick. Okay, good. Okay. Talk to this crazy lady. Crazy lady. Around the hump. Around the loop-de-loo. Talk to the Pale driver.
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me awake. You can entertain me with your questions.
I think I know what's going on with you.
And what is that?
You're a Pale driver. You transport goods through the Pale.
Great. He asked the Pines rep about the Pale, and now he's talking to everyone about it.
Yes, I am.
Fine, then. Just try not to black out again, and don't contemplate. We don't have time for that.
It's death, but for the universe, oh, We're contemplating the living shit out of this.
Oh, I'm contemplating, Kim. I'm drawing existential conclusions for this. Yeah, no, just for detective work. That's all I need it for. Now, well, everything is related to Pale. My condition, the case, everything. It's all entrepreneuric. Is it? Is it? I don't think... Is it?
That is exactly what I didn't want you to think. Ma'am, my partner wanted to know if you work in Pale Transport.
No offense. But your partner seems like a bit of an idiot.
Republica. A filterless cigarette from Mist.
That's not very healthy.
Neither is Pale Transportation. Life is transitory.
I blacked out from sheer heartbreak and lost all memory of the world. I blacked out after a night of heavy drinking and lost all memory of the world.
Like Gabriel Buenguerro in Pergunte a Poeira. You're the opposite of me, then. I remember everything. Even things I never knew.
Things you never knew?
The smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot. In the motor park. The roses on the day of Franco Negro's coronation. On the grand stairs of Ryle. The smoke from the Fowling piece when Dolores Day was shot. The look on her face, like an orgasm. The wound in her chest. My hand in my father's hand. Except I never had a father. And I never shot her innocent Dolores Day.
Over radiation?
Heroic doses, Harifea. Heroic.
Isn't that dangerous?
Thought insertion? Dithering? The Grad Catala Magistral? It's more than dangerous. It's sad. But at first I had to make a living. Now, when you've seen it all go away like that, rolling off like the sea, and then come back to this...
She gestures at the square, the broken horse monument, the clanging of machines in the distance.
What are we doing here? For thousands of years, Gabriel. It doesn't have to be like this. We can just give up. We can just become a vapor.
What does it look like, the Pale?
Like looking into the ocean at night. In the dark.
And?
You cannot see it, but you know it's there. And it's big, bigger than anything. Bigger than all the other things combined.
What does it feel like?
Nothing. Until it starts. When you are deep enough. Then, for me, it's like autumn. Dark, gray, and orange. The orange of street lights and the color of streets and electric light. It smells like autumn too. It smells terrible.
Nostalgia. Cooped up in the cabin, shaking. Terrible nostalgia. For yourself. For humans. It's too much to bear. She loves it.
How do you pass through it?
In the belly of an airship, behind the cell windows. So you don't look straight into it. It's not advised to look into it.
Not on this lorry, then?
No, the same one, a roller. They all are nowadays. Special wheels for connecting to the floor of the hold.
She drives it into an airship and they fly through the Pale?
The wheels all small and round. Multi-axle trailers.
One last thing. You said we can just become vapor.
Yes.
No elaboration.
I would rather have what I have than what you have. I would rather have what you have than what I have. I feel I already have what you have in some way.
They say there is a point. One that I have not crossed. In the Pale, super deep. If you stray too far, of course, on the U41A, or in Lomonosov's land, where every step you take is one step further from home, no matter the direction. It's a point you cannot come back from. Your mind becomes so radiant with the past, there is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of indescribable finale. Maybe you've been down the motorway south?
The motorway south?
It's a story as lone horsemen tell. Lone horsemen, Jerife, not Pale drivers. Way beyond the established Pale that's lit by radio frequencies, where it goes silent and dark, and the process begins, erasure, kilometer by kilometer, in any direction. The motorway south is a road you cannot come back from.
And what is at the end of the motorway south?
No one knows what's at the end. I've only glimpsed the beginning. I've only felt it in the distance when I was a child. A child rowing on the lake.
Ma'am?
Josiana.
There is nothing more to do now. She's far away. She is receding in the clutches of some indescribable scattered emotion. A child descending.
You've fried both your brains enough for today, detective. Let's get some air.
Interesting. Bill, what are you doing? Oh, I gotta go up the stairs and around the thing. Do, do, do. The edge of the map, the landmass begins to disintegrate into pure trigonometry. The ocean melts, becoming a tangle of sines and cosines. The mountain range turns to a sharp-angled azimuth. Its green range shadow dithers, like music turning into a waveform, and then vanishes. This is the end, a half-remembered textbook from your childhood. The porch collapsing on the edge of the Isola. A transition from reality to pale. A single vector shoots out like a rocket. It's the motorway south, splintering off from the known pale. To where? Where does it go? Alright. I might save those two for after Ruby. You know what I need to do really fast? We will.
The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp.
Let's read this bullet.
A rifle, Revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be an old 4.46 millimeter from the surplus left over from the turn of the century. Probably an antique or a retrofitted antique.
Make?
The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insulindian theater of the anti-centennial revolution 50 years ago. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you, the dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusable, sadly. If it were, the bullet would probably fit the chamber.
Is anyone else still making these rifles?
No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around, usually broken. The quality was appalling.
So who uses Belmargrave rifles these days?
Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same thing you found in that hidden weapons cache, only in working order.
What are you thinking? Bullet?
I think I know where this came from.
Okay.
The
And?
shot probably came from a Belmargrave rifle.
An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez, or anywhere in Ravachol, really.
And why not?
Sure, there's some arms trafficking, but the laws prohibiting the use of breech loaders we inherited from the monarchy have been effective, from what I've seen. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end.
With what, getting shot? I think we should have more powerful guns. We're the law. Makes you consider every shot. I like it.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier. But back to the investigation.
Oh, let's see. Looks like we're looking for an antiques enthusiast.
Doesn't seem that likely, but we'll check out all possible leads. Next step, finding the gun itself.
All right. Determine where the shot. Check the island. Okay. Find the murder weapon. Buy some fallen pants from... Ooh, do I have enough money for that? Get an entire fallen outfit going on. Feel the speed. Let's see.
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno? You already know. Kuno thinks you have brains.
Kuno, stop being nice!
Ease off, see. Don't be telling Kuno what Kuno
Why
can
can't
do.
I buy him no pants?
What else you want, Pigman? Kuno
Okay.
doesn't...
See you later, Kuno. Weird little shit face. Okay. Shh. I do want to talk to her. Before we do the Ruby thing.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Oh, my bill.
Got the 20 real?
Yes, I do.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Say goodbye. Let's sleep on this for tonight, Kim. Can I go to bed? Kim, trying to sleep here.
The bed is still cold from the broken window.
Kim. Can I not go to bed till after a certain amount of time? Let's go out here really quick. So can I fast travel now? Fast travel is so weird. I don't quite understand how it works.
Yes, what is it?
Let's see. Logic. I need to change my pants. Oops. Let's see. Oh. Let's put our logic outfit on. Let's see. How logical do I need to be? Oh, yes. Put on a nice polo. And a nice pair of logical eyeglasses. Yes, a much more logical hat. Yes, a nice logical coat. This is as logical as it gets, my friends. This is the most logical man you'll ever see. You can just tell. By what he's wearing.
Yes, what is it?
Oh, damn. See? The clothes make the man. Okay. Form a theory on the 2mm hole in the world. Please don't fail me.
You don't have to. You already have. A long time ago.
Really? How?
These thoughts formed in you somewhere, in a long-forgotten discussion, behind a kitchen table, in the evening light.
What? With who?
Drinking coffee and smoking, with a friend, and a woman. She was there too.
Really?
Her hair smelled of shampoo and she was smoking.
Is the origin point of the Pale?
What?
The swallow. It's how it starts. It's baby Pale.
But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
That comforts her.
No. We are 20 meters from the very edge.
She looks up into the darkness under the nave, then back at you.
The Pale is only an effect, a transition between the world and that.
Then what is that?
It's nothing. No, it's less than nothing. No.
It's less than nothing. The final rest state for reality. Imagine if all this never was.
Then the Pale is...
simply a gradient.
But the gradient, it clearly hasn't started yet. We're here, and the Pale is not.
One day when it's larger, it will be.
I understand. A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes. Like a cancer or a mold. Erupting in points inside the world.
This is one of those places.
According to this, how long...
till the world starts swallowing? Already started. Starting with sound.
And information. Causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's formed in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects in addition to sound and data?
I also have a question, since we are piling them on. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply curious as to how a detective of the RCM...
Let's see. I think I've had this thought before. That's how I know.
An amateur anthropomedic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Yes, it is very interesting. But I wouldn't say you know. This is a guess. One that's going to have to be proved by anthroponetic scientists.
It didn't form in a church. The church formed around it.
Of course! A pine wood sarcophagus. Or a containment facility of some kind. Built by the first settlers.
Yes, acting on an instinctual level, or religious practices we've forgotten.
I have considered the same. The bad news is there were 7 pinewood churches built in the first decade of provincial settlement.
I was wondering that, and the others are all destroyed or whatever, but does that mean there's just a hole in each of those churches?
Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but...
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
Or maybe it's like a chain, where this is the thing they're containing in each church funnels energy into this church, and that's why it's weakening and growing or whatever, being more obvious. But well, hopefully it's not 7 pinpoints in reality they're gonna grow, because Rochelle's fucked. Maybe that's why nobody was living here. Of all the Islos, this is the one that was like the starting point, or like the most dangerous, because it had 7 holes in the reality. All the failed businesses in the doomed commercial area, all the failure in Martinez.
You think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here? Even say software development?
Yes, even the revolution was defeated here. I mean, a kind of anthroponetic history.
I told the producers we need to go and move to a normal office building with amenities. But no, the artists like the milieu, the writers like the history. I told them.
Should let people still working in there know about this. They might be affected.
You mean Plaisance and the Dice Maker? There was almost no one left when we packed up.
Yeah, both of them deserve to know.
Then go tell them.
I don't know if they care. One day all the world will be like that 2mm hole.
She falls silent. The wind blows in through the hole in the stained glass window. Cold and moist.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest? Some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but...
Ma'am, you will certainly sound mad.
One more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
Perhaps not.
Yeah! Once the light is on in the universe, it will never go out!
Thank you, Egghead. Let's leave it at that, shall we? We have an anthropogenic detection to perform in this district.
We do have one mystery that still needs solving. The radio ghost in the doomed commercial area's electric doorbell.
The creepy woman! We were wondering about that when we worked there, but I had completely forgotten about it ever since. It must be anthroponetic crosstalk, the one you get in radios and long-distance calls. Now it makes sense, with the pail right on the doorstep.
Incredible. This would also explain why we get it on the police radio all the time.
Anthroponetic crosstalk?
It's quite common, actually. When the signal gets routed through pail, all kinds of irregularities take place. You may hear snippets of someone else's conversation, or the voice of your former lover, or an echo of an event that took place 100 years ago. Pale is a shroud of memories, and it doesn't really distinguish to whom those memories belong to. You could hear anything.
Where does that make sense? Thanks for explaining that to me.
Anytime.
All right, I'll leave you to work in peace now. Oh my god, we're all gonna die. I don't know if I've ever had the task to let the others know. And tell everybody about the... Okay, Kim? I think I could talk to everybody. Plus I gained a thought. Let's read this thought. I've never gotten this thought before. Cleaning out the rooms. Somebody's been walking around in your dreams lately looking for something. Tidying up, rearranging, storing away all the unrealized dreams, putting old plans and pains in boxes. The worst nightmares have settled down for a while. A spot of light on the bedroom door after the dark. Fluttering of eyelids in the spring sun. A thought that arises only to disappear again. And yet, there's a pattern emerging. Son of a bitch. I have so many. I want to do all these before the end game. Which means I need 3. I'll get them. I'll get them. Let's... back to Martinez. Can I go to bed yet? Did I talk to the others? Well, let's chit chat. Plaisance is awake. I need a cigarette. Okay. I've never done this before. Okay, I am actually gonna end it here because I have things to do in my life. Oh my gosh. But I will be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And we will terrify the locals. And then find Ruby. Look for the shots. I don't even know. We'll get some stuff done. But thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.